Hey everyone, welcome to Home Matters, the podcast where we help you make the most informed decisions for your home renovation and improvement projects. Whether you're swapping out windows, tackling a kitchen makeover, or getting a new roof, we've got the tips, the tricks, and the insights that you need. So let's get into today's topic. Hey, welcome back to the Home Matters podcast. We are your go-to resource for anything that has to do with your home. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to create a safe and comfortable living environment, child-proofing your home. And I'm going to share some safety tips for those young families. I'm your host, Alex. And 15 years ago, my wife and I had our first child. And since then, we've had 5 children. And I will tell you, home safety is a huge topic when you're going through those phases of life. There are so many aspects of a home that can present a risk for you and your kids. And if you have toddlers or young children at home, ensuring a safe environment is no doubt paramount. So stick around as we explore practical tips and strategies for child-proofing your home to keep your little ones safe and sound. All right, let's get into it. Now, melatonin often is used as a sleep aid. It has seen a surge in popularity in recent years. But with increased usage comes increased risks, especially for curious little hands. A recent report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention revealed a concerning trend. Around 11,000 infants and young children have ended up in emergency rooms after accidentally ingesting melatonin. That's why a leading trade group is stepping in, urging melatonin manufacturers to adopt child deterrent packaging and clearer labeling. And just like the dangers of medication around your home, you should also consider other factors that could be dangerous to your child. So let's first talk about assessing the potential hazards. Conduct a thorough walkthrough of your home to identify these hazards, such as sharp corners, choking hazards, and materials, right? So think of chemicals that are at your bottom base cabinets in the bathroom and the kitchen. Think about unstable furniture. I know for my wife and I, one of the first things we did, we got rid of our glass tables, our coffee tables. We went from glass to rounded edge coffee tables that were made of wood, right? So even the corners not being too sharp. And even with that, we ended up putting some cushion, self-adhesive cushions around it. And that definitely helps because, as they start to crawl and walk, they're going to smack their head here and there. So you're trying to prevent as much as possible. And then, really look at the kitchen, the bathroom, living room, as well as the less obvious spaces like your staircases and your windows. Now, securing furniture and fixtures. So anchor heavy furniture such as bookcases, dressers, and TVs to the wall to prevent tipping accidents. So what I do is you go down to the hardware store, buy some L brackets. You can buy a pack of like 100 L brackets with some screws and anchors, and put it in. Make sure that those pieces of furniture cannot tip over. You would be surprised that, sometimes a little baby can tip over a 20, 30-pound piece of furniture. And then use corner guards or edge protectors to cushion the sharp edges on the furniture and countertops. Now, how do you childproof cabinets? They've come a long way with the different products that they used to have when our little ones were in that phase. Now they have the locks and latches that open with Bluetooth, but you don't have to go high tech on this. Honestly, a lot of the child-proof lock and latches that are in cabinets and drawers are simple. They're usually made with a magnet instead of like a zip tie. And you know where to use the other piece that's typically like a 2-sided piece that has a magnet, and when it senses that, it opens up, right? So super important there, the cabinets and drawers. Also, cabinets and drawers, one thing that we did was take all our sharp knives and put it into a Tupperware that was on the wall cabinets. And so when we would need to get those knives, well, we would actually get it from the wall cabinet that the children can't reach. And so that would be a lot easier. Storing cleaning supplies, medications, as I mentioned about the melatonin and other toxic substances, is really important. I mean, this is, the emergency room visits in this report by the CDC was just about melatonin. But if you look it up, there's a lot of accidents that happen with cleaning supplies as well. Now, safety gates and locks. This one is important. Installing the safety gate at the top and the bottom of staircases. We did have that in our home. And, you want to make sure that you use the right anchors so that your child can't just rip it off the wall. And then making sure that you don't have any like little stair steps or even a chair that your child can, butt it up to the little gate and then just jump over. You don't want that either, right? Using door locks and knob covers. They have those knob covers. They're like plastic where a child can't really grip the knob. That's really, really good, not only for the front door, but also, of course, different doors throughout the house. And on top of that, they also sell these they're little plastic pieces that go between each doorway so that if someone accidentally slams the door, it's not going to close all the way. And this way your child won't get their fingers stuck between the door. Believe me, it happened to us one time with our front door. Luckily, we had a weather strip that created a little space between our little one's finger, but you never know where the kids are going to pop up, right? Things can happen. So, and then make sure that you have all of your wires and electrical, from your laundry to your home office. Make sure that you have safety plug outlet covers. So we still have that in our home. Just some plugs that we never used, you just cover it and that's it. And that's going to prevent accidental shocks. Our kids actually did get shocked a few times because they get curious and they were able to actually pull that little piece off, the plastic piece, and then stick something in there. So it happens. And then, of course, secure loose cords and wires to prevent tripping hazards, that's not just for kids, for anyone, right? Now, as far as like the window guards and window stops are going to prevent anyone from opening and falling from an open window. These things happen as well, and then you also, of course, you want to replace older windows and blinds with cordless and inaccessible cord designs to eliminate that strangulation hazard. So I'm sure most of you have seen that those blinds, whether it be vertical or horizontal, they would have the two sides, the one that tip the blinds up and down and the one that pulls the blinds up and down. And they always come with a notice there, a caution, because kids have choked themselves to death where they'll put the cord and accidentally wrap it around their neck. So again, these are just some of the safety tips that I think are so important. If you have a home, single family home, and you have a garage, also that's a huge thing, right? Cars have backup cameras, but for us, even till this day with our kids, our youngest is 5, our oldest is 14. To this day, we make sure that if anybody's backing out of the driveway or the garage, we have to account for everyone. You can't be in a hurry. It's so important. And then, of course, if you have a pool, we have a pool. Well, the first thing that we did when we moved into this house was buy the fence that goes around the entire pool, and you have to drill the holes. I had to hire someone to come in here and install it. But guess what? It's a safety measure that you have to take as a parent. It is just so important, right? And then if you have your kids playing in the driveway, very good idea to have one of those little cones where it's either orange or bright green so that cars that are passing by will slow down. All right. Now, listen, by implementing these childproofing measures, you're going to create a safer environment for your family. And of course, you'll be able to enjoy that peace of mind knowing that you've done everything possible. Obviously, you can't prevent everything from happening. My kids have fallen, have had stitches, so accidents are definitely going to happen. But you're trying to make sure the big ones are not there for them. Like even our stove, we have a gas stove, so all the buttons came off of the stoves. We took the buttons off. This way the kids can't actually grip to it. So again, I can go through the whole house and there's going to be dozens and dozens of items that I'm going to recommend. Being a dad now for 15 years. Yeah, every time you turn around, there's just something else. And so a couple of resources that I found really useful, obviously CDC, but sometimes there's a lot of doom and gloom and it scares the crap out of you, you know. There's books out there, no doubt, but some resources that I like is the This Old House YouTube channel. They've got a whole playlist on securing your house for safety for kids. New Mommy Media, so that's newmommymedia.com. That's that they have a podcast there, tips for baby proofing your home. And then, of course, the National Safety Council, nsc.org. Take a look at it. They have a lot of information on child proofing your home. And then the last thing that I'm going to leave with as far as child proofing your home that I don't think we typically talk about, this is more for the preteens or tweens and teens, preteens, teens, and tweens. So those that are, like 10 to 17 years old, is childproofing the virtual part of your home for those. And that is your internet safety. Internet safety is important. There's a lot of stuff happening out there: cyberbullying, sextortion, scams, phishing. There's a lot of things that you can do with your internet connection, smartphones, your tablets, devices, computers, like using a VPN, like using a safe browser like Firefox, not anything like Chrome or Apple products. Authentication apps like 2FA apps. Make sure that your kids really understand what the guidelines are. Limit daily usage to less than half an hour. Don't allow your kids. I would say probably the youngest age I would allow on social media and YouTube is 16. Again, a lot of those channels like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, very toxic for kids. And so we often think of the hardware and the physical aspect of childproofing our home. But the fact is that with devices out there, there's so many bad things that can happen. You hear stories of young children committing suicide because they were extorted into sending a inappropriate image to someone, and now they were going to tell all their world about it. And these are sad things, and of course the cyberbullying is really rampant on social media. So keep your kids off of social media, off of YouTube. Make sure they're using YouTube Kids. Make sure that you have tracking devices on their usage, their daily time limits, because as I said, it is not just that. And there's a great organization that I work with personally called safetyforlife.org. That's safety, the number 4, life.org, safetyforlife.org. And of course, there's the National Safety Council, and there's Common Sense Media is another one. So again, both the physical world and the digital world, trying to keep our kids safe. And that's what today's episode really was about. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Home Matters Podcast. Join us next time for more tips and insights on making your home a haven for you and your loved ones. Until then, stay safe and take care. Thanks for tuning in to the Home Matters Podcast. Remember, a great home starts with making smart choices. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on a new episode. For more resources or to get in touch with a trusted local contractor, check out localcontractor.co. Until next time, take care and happy renovating.